All right, we are back working on Hackbase, our hackathon management platform that we are building casually on the side because it's a tool our business needs and would provide a better experience for our customers. So we have been doing 3 rounds now so far, building up the basics, polishing a little bit, building a couple of features. And now is the time to listen to people's feedback. The first round of feedback I usually recommend with people that you're working on the product with, maybe stakeholders who are involved. So I had a nice chat with Christina, Paul, and Lucy, who are all organizing the hackathon with me. I published everything on this domain, Hackbase, .base44.app, and we went through the whole process on their machine. I asked one person to literally open this, in an anonymous browser, and then just go through the process, create an account, and tell me everything they liked and that they didn't like. And I took notes here, and we are about to process these notes. You're seeing a lot of things you didn't expect to see anymore. You are looking at screens as a developer that you haven't looked at for a while, for whatever reason, and things changed. And you are going to be surprised of how buggy and ugly your app still is. That is all part of the process. So we did about 20 minutes of feedback, and I got this huge ass list. And it's mixed between German and English. And I just want to show you how to use plan mode for Base44 to help you organize through all of the notes that you have and anything else you want to add to this. So let's take a look at the notes and just let it process everything and ask us questions about building things before it's doing all of this. So here is all of the Hackbase feedback. But I want to preface that with a bit of an instruction. All right, I've had a little sit down with a couple of stakeholders that I'm building the project with, and they gave us a lot of feedback. Everything below came out of that session, but I don't want you to process this verbatim. I need you to cluster everything the way you think it should be structured, build it in the order that makes sense to you, and especially important, ask me any questions up front that you need clarification on. So with a similar prompt to that, you can throw stuff at it. You will later still need to see like, hey, does this all make sense? But send this off so it can start processing and ask you questions. And this way, you're going to make progress much faster on your app that your customers actually care about. When you're later on with your product, you can regularly do customer interviews with people who are using your products. You just ask them, hey, I saw you using my product a lot. I would love to do an interview with you to make it even better for you. And then you ideally record it, and have a session recording for all the details for the agent to process this afterwards. So let's go through the questions that Base44 is asking here. How should the team application phase be controlled? Leader creates team, leader pitched the idea, participant expresses interest. This is a fundamental change and a deep thought about the flow, how users are creating and applying to teams. And it's a very good question that it asks me back, like, how do you want to control the different phases? So it picked up on a lot of nuance just from this little bit of text that we sent it. Let me just show you again. It was this feedback, just bullet points. And you can see that we changed, or we made very specific changes to the team application process. So when you are in the app, let's go to the dashboard, and you're saying like, okay, these are the teams, and I now want to join Paul's team or Hackbase or these demo teams. Should they immediately be added to the team? Should the team lead have to approve them? Should then the user again have to confirm it? And we thought about it. How can we make it more engaging also during the event? We want to control this from the admin side. The admin sets the phases, and that enables that the teams are showing up, that people can apply to, and this and that. Next, what should the participant page show? I would like to show the the name, profile picture, skills, bio, social media links, if they have added any, the current team and track they're associated with, but only when there is already one. Remember that this team profile persists over multiple events, not just this one. Then the third question is, how deep should the feature request voting board go? So here's the idea. I want to, during the event, be able to show how fast you can change an app. And therefore, I want to give people a very quick way to give feedback and to see the progress, how far this is already implemented. So let's see how deep. A simple board, submit an item, upvote it, and see it sorted by votes. Plus admin can set planned and progress done. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, for the user, I want to keep it very simple. They can create an idea. Admins can edit it to clarify things, or to just plain change it. Users can upvote on other people's ideas. They get an immediate +1 upvote for themselves. It's sorted, as you said, by votes. And I want users to simply see like 2 lanes. On the left are the ideas for features and bugs who have like tags. And then on the second row, these are all the ones that we have actually implemented. And when we have completed that. So it's very simple for them. Admins should also be able to hide or delete suggestions just in case users do something weird there or they see duplicates, and maybe we can mark them appropriately, but don't make it too overly complicated here. All right. Again, this is a side feature. This is not the main thing, but it's very much within the spirit of a hackathon, especially using a tool like Base44. You want to demonstrate how quickly you can make changes that also make sense to you. Just because a user has an idea doesn't mean that I have to build everything that they want or change them the way that they want. But if a sufficient amount of users are telling me something that they want different in my app, that might change my opinion. So I want to constantly listen to this. I built these kinds of features into my previous mobile apps that I've built, like CSGO skills that had over 1 million users. And every user had like 1 vote per day that they could have. We welcomed ideas, but we also used this feature to essentially let them vote on our product roadmap, where we said, okay, from all the ideas and the feedback that we have and that we got from the users, here are like 4 to 6 ideas. Which one do you want us to build first? And something like that would be great in here, but I don't want to overbuild since it's not the core feature. So now we give the AI time to process this, and then we come back once this is finished. Okay, the AI split it up in phases. Phase 1 is in. The team application process is now live. So let's see that. There is the admin live dashboard now. It has a switcher. Let's check it out. Let's go to admin live dashboard, and here's our team application phase. So let's see if it makes sense to us. It goes from team creation to idea intros to express interest to selection to teams locked. Participant only see the actions belonging to the current phase. How it flows in leads create teams and describe their ideas. That's the one. You very often when you're building an app have to think about what is the correct order of things to happen. This is now a 5-step process. Try to keep it as simple as possible. We decided on this and I'll lock that in. I'll check it out. If it turns out to be too complicated, I might still simplify things. Okay, then people move to intro ideas. So here, all of the teams are created. We will probably have this set up from the beginning. Then step 2 is that the team leads are able to actually share their idea. And then users can express interests and say like, hey, I want to be in. Then the team leads say, okay, I want this and this and that person in. That team is locked and off we go. So that sounds sensible. I would like to have a bit more like visual feedback and on how many people's are in which phase right now. But let's see if it hasn't already built it in. Also, in this batch, the team leads can't apply to other teams. That is something that was in the feedback. The team size is a recommendation rather than a cap. And some minor things like teams are not closed, they're full. Teams overview are grouped by track. Let's check that out. There's the iBuilder track, the glasses track, enterprise track, harness engineering. Wonderful. I wish the order would be in the same way as the pitches that I already said, but we get there. Also in this batch, leads can disband their teams. Let's check this out. Where is my team? Hackbase, that is me. I can disband it. Let's try. Disband the team. Everyone is released and back to the pool. Bam. No more team. That is amazing. Okay, that works. Pitching is now off by default. So when I propose a team, I need to actively do this. And here is the team size, recommended team size. Don't like how the word recommendation team size isn't there, but that is it. Open others can request to join. It's closed. We are full. It's a bit sad that it didn't also change the variable names here. But well, next up, navigation rework, small fixes, features. Okay, let's give it some feedback and then it can continue. All right, I like what you did in the admin area for the participant application phase, or team application phase. But we admins, we need clarity on the current state, like how many teams already created. If it's not too complicated, how many teams are like still in the process of being created but not completed. I'm not sure we should do this, but you think about if we should. When the idea intros are happening, there should be a URL that we can use to put it up on a screen from the admin area, maybe in a separate tab. So we can click through the team ideas like in a slideshow, and the team lead can stand in front of the slide, but there is already like a clean description for that. And then for interest expressed, we want to know, of course, excluding the team leads and admins and mentors, how many people have already expressed interest to teams, to how many teams on average they maybe express interest, and how many people have not yet expressed their interest. This also definitely makes me think of that we need an admin-based solution in order to add people to teams after the fact. So let's say they are just joining on Saturday, but they would really like to join the team. The team lead wants them in, that we can just or kick them out of the team. Then selection, we need to see in the admin area how full the teams are, how many people have already been accepted, and especially how many people that have expressed any interest have not been selected there. And then in the team's log state, I would like to know like how many teams are now already completed, marked as full by the team lead or by the system, because the number of team members is set. Of course, team leads need to be able to change that number of maximally allowed team leads, not team leads, but team members. But that kind of thing needs to be visualized. Okay, you see that I wrote a long ass prompt. I thought about like adding it, just telling it to continue the work, but I think this is too big to do and then continue doing other work. So I'll just submit this, check out the rest of the app and keep going. So, and you have to be careful that you kind of track, are you actually through your entire list? Is there maybe things that you maybe didn't want to build into your app? So let's check out the admin area a bit more. I don't think we got enough time to do this last time. So right now we have at the core, we have got this live dashboard. We see the number of registered people for this specific event, number of teams, how many are still recruiting, 7 without a team. I think a bit of that is already in here. I think I just wanted to have more detail. I like that we see like the participant mix, the track mix. It will also help us to adjust times on Sunday. So all kinds of stuff that would be so annoying to do manually. You can just build an app for that and build the dashboard that you need as the admin to make your life easier. The primary objective of this app is to make our life, to organize this hackathon easier. The secondary, also very important one, is to make the participants' life even easier. So we have all the demo users here, teams, the pitch order. Interesting. And we can change that here. That is good. The current program, the mentors. But I can already see that we should definitely make this the source of truth for everything the user sees and not an additional Notion document. This is very, very strong. Much better than I thought. All right, here we already see the little intro presentation. It's a demo for harness engineering, quiet hours, focus companion for office hours. And then Slack, Google, looking for integrations person. Okay, it's led by this example guy, Tim Bauer. Good, let's go back to the admin area. Okay, the live dashboard now shows the numbers, team creation. This now has the link to open the slideshow, and it shows additional data when we are in here. Okay, let's see. Live dashboard now shows numbers for whichever phase you're in, teams created versus still incomplete, seats filled. During the idea intro, press the present button. Okay, in Teams, there is now a roster tool to add and remove any participants for any team at any time. And team size is also shown as a fill bar. Oh, nice. Can we see this? We have to check it out. I'm not seeing this yet. Okay, sounds good. Now we have the other pieces of the work, the navigation rework, the small fixes, and the feature and bug board. Can you do this now? Now we see the additional data we want. 7 teams created, 0 incomplete, missing the idea or a track. The idea intros now has this plus that, 6 people to place, 9 ideas to present, express interest. So I already see a problem here or an opportunity to simplify things. Imagine users are in front of the room, they are pitching their idea, and during that process, I want users to express their interest. I don't want them to all pitch and then express interest. I want this to happen during that. And it would be great if the participants on the app would see a notification or link that actually asks them to watch the intros. And it just goes along with the admin process. And on the participant screen, they can express their interest in the idea. And then we don't have 2 different steps. And then in the selection process, they can actually talk. And this step 5 is just the completed state. Teams are final, no more interest or invitations. Great. This is also something that I've learned. You often see these kind of things while you're building the app. You can think about it, discuss it with 7 people up front, but you sometimes need to build it and visualize it, how it's actually happening before you can say that. All right, let's give it more time to run and come back in a second. All right. We have worked on the navigation. We have the home screen that goes back to the dashboard with the Teams overview. We have this suggested My Team where I see everything about the current state of my team. Let's join a team. Let's join this one. Show interest. Can I add myself? Yes, I can confirm myself. That is good. Being able to do this as an admin. Now I should be in this team. Now I could finally see like this confirmation process. So maybe I'm not as confirmed as I think I am. I'm invited, waiting for the commit. All right. There is still this process of committing. That is a phase I completely forgot about. Look at this. Like we decided during the talk that multiple steps have to be taken for the user. Like it's not just like a user can say like, I'm interested in 7 teams. And then maybe 3 team leads say like, okay, I want this person on board, but the user needs to commit to 1. And I don't know if this is already now showing up here. I added, but the committing thing didn't go through. Okay, I talk about that in a second with the agent. So we see the schedule, we see the pitches, we see a board. Oh, there is the feedback board, suggestions and what we shipped. So let's post something, a bug report. Let's say committing to a team doesn't complete and we can fix this. Okay, it's no copy pasting. I can upvote. I said that it should have 1 vote by myself, but this simplicity, I like it a lot. Let's start with this. Let's talk about the feedback board. The navigation item should be called feedback, not board. Nobody would get that. I added an item, said that the committing to a team doesn't complete and we have to fix this for real in a second. And then I want to mark it as ship and see. What it didn't see is my ability to edit this. So I want to be able to change the title and the description as an admin, and I'm clearly an admin, so that is not working yet. And let's talk about the next feature, the application phases. So I actually don't see the admin navigation link anymore. Please add that. And I realized we haven't set up the team application phase properly. I'll explain how I want it, but I need you to eventually ask me clarifying questions before implementing this, because this needs to work now. So I fundamentally understood that there are 4 phases. There is the team creation phase. That is correct. For your understanding, I want to have this team creation phase open as soon as the team event is available and during the intro of the event, and until I essentially activate the team presentation phase. The current steps 2 and 3 are this new team presentation phase. What does happen there? The team leads introduce it. I can activate the presentation mode. This also adds a call to action bar below the header for all participants, admins, mentors, everyone, to join this intro slide view. And I want them to be able to express their interest during this phase. I do not want them to have to listen to 30 idea intros and then have to remember and then express their interest. I want them to casually express their interest during the introduction. They need to be able to move between the slides, especially back. They should not be able to go forward, but they can see the currently presenting team plus the one they have talked to. They should have an easy click to go to the latest team, like similar to watching like a live stream. When you want to see the current live presented thing, you can switch to that, but they should have time to make a decision during this presentation phase. And then we move on to phase 3, where we can call it team formation. And I think it's actually only those 3 steps. And in 3 steps, 2 things need to happen, 2 sub-steps. The team leads are going to stand around the room and people can ask them additional questions, and they can say which team members they would like to have on board. And they can invite everyone who expressed interest to their team to join the team. All right. The invitation, like the amount of people expressing interest, should not be kept by the maximum team size, just how many people can end up in the team. And then the second sub-step is that the user needs to commit to that team, because the following thing can happen. A user expresses interest into 7 teams. 3 team leads want to invite them, and then they need to make a choice which team to commit to. And for that, we really need a good experience in the app. Okay, this is an example of a very involved, complicated process that you should take your time to design. And I wouldn't have been able to come up even with this issue without getting the feedback from the other people in the team. It's now, as the builder, still my responsibility to say like, okay, guys, I've tried this. We had some weird ideas, but this is what I think is now the best thing, because I am here. I'm seeing what the user can see and see what the admins can see. And then I present it back to the team and say like, do you like this based on what we said plus what I found out? And continuously build out the app. Now, we already have several key improvements, and I think the team application phase was one of the core things that we were worried about how to simplify. And hopefully we can clarify a few things with the agent and then really make a stronger product version out of that in this round. How should the phases map what's actually happening in the room? 3 phases: team creation, team intros, team formation, then logged in. 4 phases, keep interests separate. No, I want 3 phases in the room. Who drives the currently presenting slide in the intro live? An admin drives it. Auto by pitch, order, and timer, not by pitch. But this brings up some ideas, like why don't we add a timer on here that the admin can pause? The admin drives it. The order is similar to the pitch order, but lots of teams will present that never pitch, that we order them by track. The track order should be how we communicated that in the feedback that I gave you, just to remember. First, we want to hear the harness engineering one, then the enterprise, then the XR track with the AI glasses, and 4th is the AI builder track. So this is also the order in which I want them to do the team presentation. And speaking of the timer, we want to give people 3 minutes, and I want this timer to be only like on the presenting admin slide and startable, pausable, and endable by the admin, not on the participant view. Okay, this is the first question. When someone holds several invites, how should the commit decision feel? I think we need the dedicated decision screen. So let's think about this. They are going through the intro slides saying like they are interested. This is in addition to being able to do this in the Teams overview page. And I think they should be primarily seeing this on their home screen. Their home screen should be an overview of like who they're interested in, who they got accepted by, and who they want to commit to. When someone holds several invitations, how should the commitment decision feel? I want this to be happening on the home screen of the user. After they have expressed their interest, they can at all times exit the intro slides, come back to their home screen, and then see like, these are the teams I applied interest to. These are the ones that want me on board. And here is the one I want to commit to. And that locks you into that team as long as that team still has space for you. All right, we can now see the new version of the team application phase with team creation, intros, which pops up this introduction screen that also allows people to start, or admins to start a timer to show their interest. Then we have the team formation phase in which we can see like how many people have committed to an idea. And then we have got the teams locked phase just to show us how many teams are now completely finished and we can move out of this team formation phase and just there is only manual admin association with new team members and people can join the places and just start working. All of these teams will then later show up in the pitches if they want to pitch. And this is already great progress. We now got the participant overview, helping people to like get to know each other better, like connect through their social links if they want to, but not accidentally expose all of their email addresses. I also have the My Team overview that still needs some polish with a commitment, and that I'll fix in one of the upcoming sessions. We also built the feedback board where we now noted that this team commitment doesn't work yet, and I can work on that and then move this to ship, giving people a real feeling that this product is moving, which is also very important. I think that's it for today. Let's cut things off here. This is almost ready to go live. Maybe I do one more session on Hackbase and then we call this complete. And I hope you enjoyed the session again, and I see you next time.